teddy is this? Is it yours? Is it your teddy? Oh. Oh. Okay, so I am going to answer the questions set to me by Past Story Time, otherwise known as Charlotte Bit. So the first question, if I can paraphrase, was: you're at a 24-hour dance-a-thon, you look around the room and you see Stephen Graham Jones, Rachel Harrison and Dylan Thomas. Who do you dance with? And this is really, really hard. So I'm guessing you all know who Dylan Thomas is. Welsh poet, Swansea born. Also wrote loads of other good stuff. So I'm actually not a massive fan of his poetry, but I really like his short stories and stuff like that. And Charles Christmas in Wales. And Rachel Harrison is like my new book crush. I've read everything she's written now. And she writes like horror, but like smart girl horror. Well, it's not really horror. Some of it was horror, but it's also quite light. And then Stephen Graham Jones is also a horror writer, and he wrote my book of the year last year. I'm going to choose Dylan. Firstly, because he's dead. So to me, the opportunity to dance with somebody who's dead, that just comes once in a lifetime. I don't know if he'd be a very good dancer. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like as the other two are horror writers, that it might get creepy. I'm assuming it's, we're going to get tired. We're going to be pushed to the edge of our sanity, and you might not have your guard up. And so I just feel like horror writers might not be the people you want to share that with, because they're going to come out with some weird stuff. But Dylan, I think as the night wore on, would get more natural. He was renowned for sort of putting on, pretending to be a bit drunk when he wasn't. He was a people pleaser. I massively think he had ADHD. Me and a colleague 100% think that he was undiagnosed ADHD, presenting maybe with more of the female qualities. So I just feel like we would get on. And the fact that he had a really lovely dinner with Marilyn Monroe when he was in Hollywood, very understated, and he really liked her and wasn't sleazy with her and kind of saw that she was fragile at that point in her life. I just think he would be nice to spend 24 hours with. Maybe not dancing, but if that's the situation we're in, that's the one I'm going to take. Question number 2 is a very sweet question that contains a compliment to my garden that I think is undeserved. As much as I would like to take that compliment, I haven't gardened for about 2 years, and it is wild out there. And the bits that I've shown you in the last 2 years have been heavily edited, as in like one corner that is vaguely maintained its shape. The rest of it is like brambles, so thank you. And it was very nice 2 years ago, but it's looking a little bit less nice now. And in which case, the question was, if you could garden for a day with a writer, who would it be? And I'm going to sort of cheat a little bit and pick a writer that is a gardener, because of the state of the garden, I need professional help, and it would be Monty. It'd be Monty Don. So I'm not really allowed to mention Monty in this house, because Stephen knows that I kind of fancy him a little bit, and something about like the denim corduroy combination. The heart wants what it wants. So, I mean, it could be controversial and it could put a strain on my marriage, but I think I would choose to garden with Monty for a day. Third question. These are excellent questions, by the way. Part of the reason I'm not going to pass this tag on is because I will not be able to come up with questions as good as this, or even like vaguely as good as this. And also just the stress of choosing 2 people. I apologise if it's ruining it. That's just that. I'm answering the questions, and that's where it ends. But the third question is, you've written a best-selling novel and it's been picked up by Netflix. Who plays the 2 lead roles? And my answers, why did I say answers? Answers, weird. My answers are not going to be as cool as Sian's, but I would choose Caroline Quinton, She's like my favourite person. I just love her, and she's great on screen. And she's not on screen as an actress very much, and I feel like she should be. If you've ever watched Jonathan Creek, she's in the first season of Jonathan Creek, and she's outstanding as Madeline Magellan. She's my icon, basically. I'd like to see her on screen. If it was somebody who was dead, I'd like to see her on screen with like Marilyn Monroe, because Marilyn, I think Caroline Quinton would bring out, like they'd be like maybe lead detectives or something. Marilyn would have a serious role, you know, or like a gritty role, or be playing someone a bit different to the ones that she played. You know, that role she always wanted. I'd write her. I'd do what Arthur Miller couldn't. But if it was somebody alive, I reckon that Caroline Quinton and Gillian Anderson would be like a dream combo. And I don't think they've been in anything together that I know of. So, and that's me also repaying Stephen back for the fact I've been allowed to garden with Monty Don, is that I've created something for Gillian Anderson to be on our screens. So that's even then, I feel. There we go. Thank you for your questions, because it's filled up day 2 of Vlogmas. And I shall see you soon. Bye. His whiskers.